NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players. We're at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, for one of the game's most prestigious titles, the Players Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in on our featured golfer here at the first. Frank, you've been there so many times. Really nothing like the first tee of a brand new championship.
The thought of the unknown, the beauty of sport, you win the golf course. Doesn't get any better, Rich.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planing of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too. You don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
You can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
So 2 under early on. And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Getting set now over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Now to the fifth. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Good job right there. Now making a move and setting himself up for, who knows, a good weekend run, maybe at another title. The former college standout has been excellent today. So, Frank, a perfect lie right here, and now this gives him a chance to take the next step, which is get after this hole location.
Yeah, so many more options now, and basically it's just going to come down to club selection now. This is absolutely perfect. This is one where he can get a reward from.
What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Putt for par.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it. That was a great first day out there, Rich.
I really enjoyed it. We saw a lot of birdies, excellent play, and some impressive names on top of this leaderboard. Anybody's game. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players. Frank, you want to get off to a good start. This approach shot here at the first is important.
It is. Two distinct levels on this this green, the high side on the left there and the lower side on the right. If you're trying to keep that ball a little left of a middle, you've got to be careful of that bunker on the left.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Nice scoring opportunity here. 532-yard par 5 second hole, Frank. Considered one of the easier holes on the golf course. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you can just cut this in half. 532 yards divided by 2. Really, it's 2 tee shots over 260 yards. For these guys, nothing more than a 3 or 4 wood. And that's why all you need off the tee is just a 3 wood with a little draw.
You disappointed if you don't make 4 here?
Not disappointed, but obviously you lose at least half a shot on the field.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
Respectable shot right there. 20 feet or so from the hole. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Sensational effort, an eagle, and now a good move on the leaderboard.
Name up there in bright lights. Interesting to see if that gets a little attention.
Now the par 3 third.
Not overly long, but 2 is a rarity here. Difficult green, and you don't see a lot of tee shots actually finish close here for some unknown reason.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. On the green. And a chance for birdie. Birdie try again here today. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. This one just requires a little bit of focus. How you maintain momentum, make those putts for par. Frank, how important is positioning off the tee here?
Well, we saw a positional tee shot at 1 and 2. This is another one here at 4. Oh, I like that.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Good birdie right there, moving to 3rd place on the leaderboard. Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4 though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple 2-shot. Yeah, that's fine.
In the beginning, Pete Dye, Dean Beeman, they were fending off rattlesnakes with a machete. It was pure swampland, and they moved heaven and earth to create this golfing stadium.
It was an amazing investment. They bought the land for just $1. But what it's turned into now, the Players' Championship at the Players' Club, it really stands for a lot in our sport. This is really the home of professional golf in the United States. And the players know it. So each time the Players' Championship comes around and they put their names on that registration sheet, they hope that their name goes on the trophy.
That is a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Good putt. Hole number 6, 393 yard, par 4. What's in store for us here, Frank?
Another one really where you're just trying to poke it down there. When you stand on that back tee, there's an overhanging limb that you just get an eye of. So if you try and hit that ball a little too low, that's going to encourage a miss hit.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long, straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
That is some good work right there. Birdie, and one shot closer to the lead. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's third-round coverage of the Players. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
In complete command of his game. 9 under for the tournament with that birdie. Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record, because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Really starting to shine. Moves to 10 under for the tournament. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute, seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's two little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310. Second shot.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Playing his third here at the par 5. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. This is a 9-footer. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He has this for par. That is a solid par putt. Frank, as a fan, it's so exciting because it's just so simple as well. Ball's in the air. You're wondering, where is it? Wet, dry, short, long, winner or loser?
And it's no surprise that this hole was an accident. This one was designed by not Pete Dye, but his wife Alice Dye. But we have seen so many accidents right here.
Well, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
A little bit more hope than determination in that putt. Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Oh, I thought he had that. He'd settle for par here. And getting ready for the putt.
Par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. So through 54 holes, a really good position inside the top 5 with 1 round to go.
Yeah, and those handful of players that we're looking at, Rich, they certainly have looked the best players this week, which makes tomorrow look like a real thriller.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Players. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck? Great too.
Beautiful. Frank, Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post. But he will, and we will, never forget 14.
Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today.
Solid stroke there, no sign of nerves on that.
If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. You really want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green.
Frank, once again, precision is so important as we look at the second shot to the 15th.
Yeah, you're looking at the flag here. You're looking at birdie. But if you miss, that big bunker on the left will swallow it up. And there's 2 little pop bunkers on the right. Tough to get it up and down.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Continues to roll the ball very well. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is too close. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Through the years, Frank, there have been 6 aces here at 17.
But it's hard to imagine that the last one was back in 2002 by none other than the most interesting man in the game and probably the most interesting par 3 in the game. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard. This is right at it.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
So just a formality here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. That has to feel so good. A big championship victory.